All right, guys. So welcome back to Social Media Book Club. We are back again with another going through the As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. We are in, I guess it's like the second chapter, Effective Thought on Circumstance. This is part two, and so we're going to finish this. So basically how this works is we just take 30 minutes out of our day to get some food for thought. This is around lunchtime. We're putting some sustenance into our body, and so now we want to put some sustenance into our brain. You know what they say, if you put it in a book, no one will ever find it. So we are extracting some of these great nuggets of wisdom from basically from my success library. Now, As a Man Thinketh was written back in 1907. Obviously 100 some odd years later, we are still going through this book and reading it. And so has some very powerful concepts and thoughts for us. And so basically we're going to read through this today. Enjoy the reading. We'll have an opportunity to discuss it afterwards. And so let us begin. As a Man Thinketh, Effective Thought on Circumstances, Part 2. Circumstances, however, are so complicated, thoughts so deeply rooted, and the conditions of happiness vary so vastly with individuals that a person's entire soul condition cannot be judged by another from the external aspects of his or her life alone. A person may be honest in certain directions, yet suffer privations. Another may be dishonest in certain directions, yet acquire wealth. The usual conclusion, however, is that the one person fails because his or her particular honesty, and that the other prospers because of that person's particular dishonesty. This is the result of superficial judgment, which assumes that the dishonest person is almost totally corrupt, and the honest one almost entirely virtuous. In the light of a deeper knowledge and wider experience, such judgment is found to be erroneous. The dishonest person may have some admirable virtues which the other does not possess, and the honest person obnoxious vices which are absent in the other. The honest person reaps the good results of honest thoughts and acts, but also is the cause of the sufferings which his or her vices produce. The dishonest person likewise garners sufferings and happiness. It is pleasing to human vanity to believe that people suffer because of their virtues, but not until every sickly, bitter, and impure thought has been extirpated from their minds and every sinful stain washed from their souls can they be in a position to know and declare that the sufferings are the result of their good and not of their bad qualities. On the way to, yet long before that supreme perfection has been reached, such people will have experienced a great law which is absolutely just, and which cannot therefore give good for evil and evil for good. Possessed of such knowledge, they will then know, looking back upon their past ignorance and blindness, that each of their lives is and always was justly ordered, and that all of their past experiences, good and bad, were the equitable outworking of this evolving yet unevolved self. Good thoughts and actions can never produce bad results. Bad thoughts and actions can never produce good results. This is but saying that nothing can come from corn but corn, nothing from nettles but nettles. We understand this law in the natural world and work with it, but few understand it in the mental and moral world, though its operation there is just as simple and undeviating, and they therefore do not cooperate with it. Suffering is always the effect of wrong thought in some direction. It is an indication that we are out of harmony with ourselves, with the law of life. The soul of supreme use of suffering is to purify, to burn out all that is useless and impure. Suffering ceases for those who are pure. There could be no object in burning gold after the dross has been removed, and a perfectly pure and enlightening being could not suffer. The circumstances we encounter with suffering are the result of our own lack of mental harmony. The circumstances we encounter with blessedness are the result of our own mental harmony. Blessedness, not material possessions, is the measure of right thought. Wretchedness, not lack of material possessions, is the measure of wrong thought. We may be cursed and rich. We may be blessed and poor. Blessedness and riches are joined together only when the riches are rightly and wisely used. And the poor person descends into wretchedness only when his or her lot is regarded as a burden unjustly imposed. Indigence and indulgence are the two extremes of wretchedness. They are both equally unnatural and the result of mental disorder. We are not rightly conditioned until we are happy, healthy, and prosperous. Happiness, health, and prosperity are the result of a harmonious adjustment of the inner with the outer, of our relationship with our surroundings. We begin to be mature adults only when we cease to whine and revile and commence to search for the hidden justice which regulates our lives. As we adapt our minds to that regulating factor, we cease to name others as a cause of our condition, but begin to build ourselves up in a strong and noble thoughts. We cease to kick against circumstances, but begin to use them as aids to more rapid progress and as a means of discovering the hidden powers and possibilities within ourselves. Law, not confusion, is a dominating principle in the universe. Justice, not injustice, is the soul and substance of life. And righteousness, not corruption, is the molding and moving force in the spiritual government of the world. This being so, we must right ourselves to find that the universe is right. And during the process of putting ourselves right, we will find that our thoughts are altered toward things and other people. Things and other people will alter their thoughts towards us. I like to say that again. We will find that as our thoughts are altered towards things and other people will alter their thoughts towards us. The proof of this truth is in every person, and it therefore admits of easy investigation by systematic introspection and self-analysis. Let us radically alter our thoughts, and we will be astonished at the rapid transformation it will effect in the material conditions of our lives. We may imagine that thought can be kept secret, but it cannot. It rapidly crystallizes into habit, and habit solidifies into circumstance. Bestial thoughts crystallize into habits of intoxication and consumption, which solidify into circumstances of destitution and disease. Impure thoughts of every kind crystallize into enervating and confusing habits, which solidify into distracting and adverse circumstances. Thoughts of fear, doubt, and indecision crystallize into weak, soft, and irresolute habits, which solidify into circumstances of failure, indigence, and slavish dependence. Lazy thoughts crystallize into habits of unseemliness and dishonesty, which solidify into circumstances of foulness and beggary. Hateful and condemnatory thoughts crystallize into habits of accusation and violence, which solidify into circumstances of injury and persecution. Selfish thoughts of all kinds crystallize into habits of self-seeking, which solidify into circumstances more or less distressing. On the other hand, beautiful thoughts of all kinds crystallize into habits of grace and kindliness, which solidify into genial and sunny circumstances. Pure thoughts crystallize into habits of temperance and self-control, which solidify into circumstances of repose and peace. Thoughts of courage, self-reliance, and decision crystallize into strong habits, which solidify into circumstances of success, plenty, and freedom. Energetic thoughts crystallize into habits of cleanliness and industry, which solidify into circumstances of pleasantness. Gentle and forgiving thoughts crystallize into habits of gentleness, which solidify into protective and preservative circumstances. Loving and unselfish thoughts crystallize into habits of self-forgetfulness for others, which solidify into circumstances of sure and abiding prosperity and true riches. A particular train of thought persisted in, whether it is good or bad, cannot fail to produce its results on the character and circumstances. We cannot directly choose our circumstances, but we can choose our thoughts, and so indirectly yet surely shape our circumstances. Nature helps us to the gratification of encouraging thoughts, and opportunities are presented which will most speedily bring to the surface both the good and evil thoughts. Let us cease from our sinful thoughts, and all the world will soften towards us and be ready to help us. Put away weak and sickly thoughts, and opportunities will spring up on every hand to aid our strong resolves. Encourage good thoughts, and no hard fate will drag us down to wretchedness and shame. The world is our kaleidoscope, and the varying combinations of colors which at every succeeding moment is present to us are the exquisitely adjusted pictures of our ever-moving thoughts. So this was the effect of thought on circumstances. The second part from the book, As a Man Thinketh, from James Allen. And basically, man, get good thoughts. I mean, it kind of summed it up in this one section here where it said that if you good thoughts, where was it? Let me see if I can find it real quick. Good thoughts and actions can never produce bad results. Bad thoughts and actions can never produce good results. That is but saying that nothing can come from corn but corn, and nothing from nettles but nettles. And if we can understand this simple law, then we will take control of our thoughts, and then therefore we'll take control of our circumstances. Well, this is ERGJ, your success coach, is opening up my success library to the world. And this is As a Man Thinketh, social media book club. You know what to say, if you put in a book, no one ever find it, but we are taking the time to go through and get some food for our thought. So I hope you enjoyed this. Hope you enjoyed our time together, and you will pick the book up yourself And until next time, guys, have a great week.